let's ask them some really good questions now. And if you don't know I have a timeout or you don't know what they shot, let's ask them some legitimate questions because I'm pissed off. You can see that.
Man, if you haven't know what you're talking about, I'm eliminated. Welcome to the Red and Blue Review. Of course, Rick's not in a great mood. The #1 team in America goes down, Howie.
So incredibly frustrating. A record crowd at the Yum Center, and Louisville misses 16 out of the last 20 shots. It was about as frustrating of a crowd reaction as I've seen at the Yum Center.
And Daryl, you warned us in the pregame show, don't goof this up now.
Twice this year, you've not listened to your Uncle Daryl, who has warned you, you want to play at Rupp Arena, don't lose to Syracuse. What do? You lose to Syracuse. Come on.
Now, there is an opportunity for maybe a little bit of payback here because Kentucky won over the weekend, Louisville lost. These two guys are going to race here in just a bit at this Bluegrass Indoor Karting. Let me tell you about this place. Fantastic facility. It is a state-of-the-art facility. Nothing like it here in the Commonwealth, Kentucky. You see some of the cars out here racing right now. Get up to speeds of 40 miles an hour. They have a conference room here. If you want to bring a business meeting out here, come out here. You can have your meeting in the conference area and then come out and race the cards afterwards. Bluegrass Indoor Karting. All right, let's get right into it. It is the lightning round on the Red and Blue Review. Review is brought to you by the Kentucky Office of Highway Safety, reminding you to click it or ticket. The big man on campus for the University of Kentucky is that entire basketball team that's starting to learn how hard they've got to play when they're on the road.
I had him in the room and I said, all right, have you ever been better as a player the way you are right now? And every one of them said, no, that's the best I've ever been as a player. Great. Have you ever played harder in your life? Raise your hand. If you've ever, and they all, no, this is the hardest. Alex, have you ever even been close to this, how hard you've had to play? No, this is the hardest by far. And we're all saying, it ain't enough. In their minds, they're saying, I never played harder than this. This dude wants more. Now, if it were on a normal situation, he's a freshman, I'm happy. I'm hugging him. You'll be all right. Just try to play a little harder. You're good. But we're at Kentucky. This is warp speed.
The struggle all year for Cal is these guys, so many young guys, and they don't have a Terrence Jones or a Darius Miller to say, no, we're not playing hard enough. They're just looking at each other like, feels like we're playing hard enough. No, you're not. And Auburn may have been a breakthrough because you saw Alex Poythress play a lot better. You saw Kyle Wiltshire play better. Archie Goodwin shut down Frankie Sullivan. So they were all playing better. And it was interesting because Willie Cauley-Stein goes down with a little minor surgery. So everybody has to step up their game, and they did, which was could be a really good sign going forward.
They built a lead against Auburn. They blew a lead at Vanderbilt.
Yes.
Are there any differences between Vanderbilt and Auburn that we can read anything from? Or are they both bad teams?
John Calipari went out of his way to make that point that, hey, we had Vandy in the exact same spot and almost lost the game. We had Auburn in this spot. We ran them out of the building. Huge growth spurt right there.
Big man on campus for the University of Louisville, despite the loss, has to be Russ Smith. 25 points, 7 for 7 at the free throw line, but he did not please his coach.
You know, we ran a play to get Russ the ball in the corner, and Russ didn't get to the corner. And you call a timeout to run a specific play, and you got to get there because we were going to catch him in a bump, and if Russ didn't have the shot, he could drive the closeout, and he didn't get there. So that's Gorky is not the problem there.
Yeah, you know, Russ Smith actually was kept Louisville in this game, 25 points, but he really wasn't vintage Russ Smith, 8 of 18. He did get it done at the foul line, but he didn't get it done at the three-point line. So even Russ Smith, after this game, 25 points, he still was criticized by his coach.
Well, who got busted for the University of Kentucky has to be their defense. Even though they played well enough to win convincingly at Auburn, they still have to find that defensive stopper like DeAndre Liggins was.
This team doesn't have the stopper that those other teams have had, one guy to just go guard somebody. When a team gets on a run and you don't have a guy that just says, let me guard him, you know, that's a difference. The emotional guy, let's go, let's stop this, that's enough. You know, we're still, those are developing things within this team, and that happens over time. I mean, look, it doesn't happen overnight. It doesn't happen on one game. You got to take some, there's got to be crisis along the way, and they've got to adjust to it. They've got to show and grow.
Crisis may have been the loss to Texas A&M. And when Calipari made this comment, a couple minutes later he's asked, would you have anybody on your roster that might be a stopper? He's like, maybe Archie Goodwin, we'll see. Who steps up against Auburn? Frankie Sullivan shut down the SEC's leading scorer big time, Archie Goodwin. To me, that's impressive because I didn't think he had quite the personality. Archie is the type of player who says, I'm going to play hard, but right now it's still a little bit, I'm going to get mine. I'm going to get to the NBA. There's a little bit of this is about me and him. So for him to actually take on that challenge and then to talk about it afterwards that, I have to be the stopper, could be another huge step forward for this team.
Who got busted for Louisville in the loss against Syracuse at home? That Louisville team down the stretch. A 2-point lead, 2 minutes to play. They could not hold on to the lead.
I think, look, I think we got some really difficult calls down the stretch. I thought that Russ drew an offensive foul. Things didn't go our way down the stretch, but that's the game. Sometimes you get the call, sometimes you don't. Got to look at the film to decide. But I thought we made some good plays there and didn't get it. But heck of a basketball game. They're deserving of their ranking, and really two really good teams. They're going to have to play each other again. So it's not easy to beat our basketball team, and they did it, so they deserve a lot of credit.
Yeah, it's ironic to me actually that the same day that Louisville couldn't close down the stretch, Rusticulous the horse actually was running and was in the lead coming down the final furlong, I think, and got third. So he couldn't close down the stretch.
No wonder
either.
Rick was in a rotten
mood. I know,
mood.
So he lost both. But I think with Louisville, Syracuse made the plays, Louisville didn't. Louisville's last few possessions were missed shot, bad foul, and 2 turnovers. You can't close out a game that way.
Red and Blue Review coming to you this week from Bluegrass Indoor Karting. Now, we're going to see these two guys race here in just a couple of minutes. Guys, give me your thoughts real quick. You've had a chance to get on this track. What do you think?
Hey, 40 miles per hour feels like 80 miles
Yes,
per hour because your butt is like, 5 inches above the ground. You're just flying.
And the thing to me is like you're looking at it and it's like it's an 8-minute race. You're like, okay, 8 minutes. 8 minutes feels like a half hour.
It does.
It really does. It lasts forever, which is really cool.
Yeah.
Well, we'll see these two guys racing coming up here in just a bit, but let's talk about what's nuts for Kentucky. Cal hates a zone, but this team may be forced to play it.
You think zone is probably the best thing?
No, I hate zone. I hate it. I think what you do is you guard man-to-man and you sprinkle it in. I know there are teams that play solely zone. That's what they play. We've won a lot of games, a lot of league championships, a lot of league tournament championships, a lot of NCAA games playing man. So no, I know that's the best way to do it. But I also know, more than anything else, I want this team to have a chance to win. So I've got to look at everything and say how, and be honest about it and not worry about me, because it's not about me. This is about this team.
Speak really clearly and eloquently for someone biting his tongue the entire time. Because to me, I've got a feeling that someone like John Calipari, who never plays zone but is playing a little bit this year, to him, I got a feeling zone is an admission of weakness. It's something that we can't quite do. We're not good enough to guard everybody one-on-one, so we have to disguise weaknesses, and I think that's what's eating him. That's why he doesn't like it.
Yeah, either that or he doesn't know how to coach it. I don't know. Just saying.
I think he's probably figured it out by now, would be my guess. What's nuts for the University of Louisville, the fact Peyton Siva, the preseason Big East Conference Player of the Year, gets held to 3 points against Syracuse and has the ball in his hand a couple of times down the stretch. Crucial turnovers by Peyton Siva cost the Cards.
I just told him there's plenty of time to win this game. Get out there. We can make it 3, make it 2. Stop hanging your head about the turnover. We can win this game.
I try to give it back to win, and he just made a good play, stole it, and went down and scored a bucket. So, it was tough. They scored. Can't say nothing.
With Peyton Siva down the stretch, he's normally extremely steady. He is 1 for 7 from three-point range, 1 for 9 overall. We asked Jim Boeheim after the game, did you give him that top 3, that top of the key 3? Because it sure looked like they were giving him, and he said, no, we didn't want him to take that. I don't know if I believe that or not, because Peyton took 4 of those and only made 1, and those are lost possessions.
We come back on the Red and Blue Review from here at Bluegrass Indoor Karting. Louisville is no longer number 1, so who's the best team in America? Jim Boeheim will weigh in on that after Darryl tells us about the Cat's Paws.
I do appreciate it very much. I'm on a little campaign here to educate all of our subscribers and all of hopefully our future subscribers. We have something called Cat's Paws Express that comes out. It's our digital issue between the issues. So if you were a subscriber, yes, you got one in your mailbox, but last week you got a digital express previewing the Tennessee game and one immediately the day after with all the highlights and all the stories from the win over Tennessee. So now instead of 35 issues, you're getting the equivalent of 70 issues a year. So you can give us a call if you'd like to subscribe. It's 800-641-3302.
How do you say it?
Bear nose.
Bear nose?
Beer nose.
Berno's? No matter how you say it, Berno's has been serving up Louisville-style pizza since 1977 from 13 area locations.
Berno's.
Did you know that 2/3 of all truck-related crashes are actually caused by cars? Large trucks carry heavy loads and need more room to stop than cars. Merging without leaving enough space between you and a truck could cost you a ticket, or something much worse, your life. Law enforcement will be out on the road writing tickets to make sure both truck and car drivers stay safe. Before merging, be sure you can see both of the truck's headlights in your rearview mirror to ensure proper braking room. This message brought to you by the KSP Commercial Vehicle Enforcement Division.
Join the club at Sam Swope Auto Group. When you service a vehicle at any Sam Swope dealership, you automatically become a Service VIP Rewards member. You get member pricing on parts and service, lost key return, and emergency roadside assistance. Plus, you can earn points that qualify you for discounts on your next vehicle purchase, up to $2,500. The best part is becoming a member is free. Become a member today at any Sam Swope dealership. Nobody walks away because everybody saves.
Yeah, I just picked her up. We should be there in 20 minutes.
Who is it? Oh, it's him. Where is he?
I know. Yeah, I know.
That just happened! Yes, it did. Yes, 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 yes! Yes! We did it! Yes, we did! Yeah, we did it! See you, bud. Later.
Honey, who was that?
Who, that guy? I don't know.
Get caught up in the excitement. Buffalo Wild Wings. More wings, more beer, more sports.
Hey, who's this?
It's been over 90 years since my grandfather entered the Chevrolet business. Steve and I are proud of our son Ryan and our son-in-law Andrew, who now make the 4th generation. The tradition continues with our dedication to excellence and customer satisfaction. Thank you, Kentuckiana, for making us your #1 Chevrolet dealer. We would like to introduce you to the all-new Bachman Chevrolet.
How do you say it?
Berno's.
Berno's?
Berno's.
Berno's? No matter how you say it, Berno's has been serving up Louisville-style pizza since 1977 from 13 area locations.
Berno's.
Hey guys, I'm Justin Lewis, owner of Bluegrass Indoor Karting. Come experience 40-mile-per-hour racing cars at Kentucky's only indoor go-kart track. Now back to the Red and Blue Review.
Justin, we will see these guys experiencing 40 miles an hour, the wind blowing through your hair here in just a bit as these guys race. We're going to talk about right now the basketball. Kentucky wins, Louisville loses, game time storylines. To remind you, this section of Red and Blue is brought to you by Kentucky State Police, who are ticketing aggressive driving. We don't mind you doing that here, though, at Bluegrass Indoor Karting. Well, game time storyline #1 for Louisville is despite the Cards' loss at home to #6 Syracuse, Rick is still confident in the Cardinals.
Well, it was a great college basketball game, and they made some really terrific defensive plays down the stretch, and that was the game. So we got to give them credit. They made the.
Still one of the top teams. I mean, we shouldn't let this game get to us. I mean, just come in, break down film, watch it, see what we did and did not do correctly, and, you know, convert it over to the next game. And, you know, just Tuesday get the job done. Let's get back rolling.
The players were significantly more upset about this than I think Rick Pitino was. He was salty right there at the beginning of the press conference, I think because he got a couple bad questions. And then I think after that he realized, you know, his team just didn't hit shots. They'll get them the next time. They've got another chance at Syracuse, maybe 2. But the players, I think they'll need some picking up because they, you know, you saw Shane Bohannon. Several of the other guys were pretty down as well.
Well, if you're going to lose to Syracuse, lose to them in January because you know you're going to see them in February and March. So now's the time to lose it. Red and Blue Review coming to you from Bluegrass Indoor Karting, the home of Wacky Wins Day. You can race the track backwards all day, or you can join them for their weekly open league that starts at 8 o'clock. Weekly prizes awarded to the winners. And listen to this format. They've got a 5-minute qualifier, a 15-lap heat, and then a 25-minute main event. You guys know what it feels like racing for a while in these cars, don't you?
Well, 25 minutes would be forever.
Yeah, 25 laps. Excuse me,
Oh, okay, all right, all right.
But
But still, that's a lot.
That is a lot.
That's a pretty good little race. All right, for Louisville's foe here, Kentucky, always keeping an eye on what's going on Planet Blue. And what they're finding is this Nerlens Noel, not only is he the leader on the court, he needs to be the emotional leader as well.
There's got to be some fight and emotion when you play these games. You can't just go out and say, well, I don't have that in me. Then you're not going to compete at the level you need to compete. You got to have some emotion to you. And it doesn't have to be, but your game has to show it. It doesn't have to be verbally, but your game has to show it. So you can say, I don't like to be rah-rah. Great. Just show it with everything else that you're playing hard. So that's the kind of stuff we're trying to bring out.
Yeah, it's different for UK this year. Nerlens Noel is that rah-rah, I'm yelling to the crowd. Archie Goodwin is a lot like that. If you notice the Auburn game, Archie spent most of the time yelling to the UK fans who were there. He did a lot of that. Alex Poythress, no. He won't say boo to anybody. Alex is emotional if he goes and gets 10 rebounds and knocks people into the cheap seats. That's what he's looking for. Same with a lot of the other guys. You don't need, everybody can't be rah-rah, but Cal's after play as hard as you can. Alex needs to be physical. Archie needs to be very efficient, not taking bad shots. And at that point, you're going to get to where UK needs to be.
Well, Jim Boeheim knocked off the #1 team in America, but he still says the Cards are the best.
Well, I've watched them all year. I think they're the best team. I think if Dang had played, they would have beaten Duke, been undefeated now. I just think they've got great guard play. Bohannon's good, Harrell's good. They got depth. The big guys, the best shot blocker. They'll be there. They're going to be there at the end of the year. They'll be this.
Yeah, to me, that was the most interesting quote of the entire press conference. Was Jim Boeheim, who just beat the #1 team in the country, says that's the best team in the country. Well, if you want to follow the best team in the country, definitely check out CardinalSports.com. That's for all your locker room stuff. We got all the quotes from all the different players. CardinalSports.com.
How do you say it?
Bear nose.
Bear nose?
Beer nose.
Burnos? No matter how you say it, Bearnos has been serving up Louisville-style pizza since 1977 from 13 area locations.
Bear nose. Bear nose.
Did you know that 2/3 of all truck-related crashes are actually caused by cars? Large trucks carry heavy loads and need more room to stop than cars. Merging without leaving enough space between you and a truck could cost you a ticket, or something much worse, your life. Law enforcement will be out on the road writing tickets to make sure both truck and car drivers stay safe. Before merging, be sure you can see both of the truck's headlights in your rear-view mirror to ensure proper braking room. This message brought to you by the KSP Commercial Vehicle Enforcement Division.
Join the club at Sam Swope Auto Group. When you service a vehicle at any Sam Swope dealership, you automatically become a Service VIP Rewards member. You get member pricing on parts and service, lost key return, and emergency roadside assistance. Plus, you can earn points that qualify you for discounts on your next vehicle purchase, up to $2,500. The best part is becoming a member is free. Become a member today at any Sam Swope dealership. Nobody walks away because everybody saves.
Yeah, I just picked her up. We should be there in 20 minutes.
Who is it? Oh, it's him. Where is he?
I know. Yeah, I know.
Yeah! That just happened! Yes, it did. Yes, 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 yes! Yes! We did it! Yes, we did! Yeah, we did it! Yeah, see you, bud. Later.
Honey, who was that?
Who, that guy? I don't know.
Get caught up in the excitement. Buffalo Wild Wings. More wings, more beer, more sports.
Hey, who's this?
It's been over 90 years since my grandfather entered the Chevrolet business. Steve and I are proud of our son Ryan and our son-in-law Andrew, who now make the 4th generation. The tradition continues with our dedication to excellence and customer satisfaction. Thank you, Kentuckiana, for making us your #1 Chevrolet dealer. We would like to introduce you to the all-new Bachman Chevrolet.
How do you say it?
Bear nose.
Bear nose?
Beer nose.
Bear nose? No matter how you say it, Bear Nose has been serving up Louisville-style pizza since 1977 from 13 area locations.
Bear nose. Bear nose.
Welcome back to the Red and Blue Review. Gary Gupton along with the owner of Bluegrass Indoor Karting, Justin Lewis, and right now it's about to be red versus blue as Daryl takes on Howie. Now, what kind of speeds are these? Now, these are amateurs, Justin, so what kind of speeds are we expecting out here?
These guys, they'll probably get up 35, 40, somewhere in that range. Just depends on how much guts they've got.
Yeah. All right, let's get it rolling here. Let's go red versus blue. Now, you'll be able to tell Daryl from Howie, not only is Daryl wearing blue, but he's got the UK flag on here on top of all that. Well, there they go, the first turn. That's Daryl out in the lead. Howie's trailing it. Justin, how did you get the idea to start this business? Oh,
already an accident. Already an accident. All right.
Justin, how did you get the idea to start this business?
I actually went to one down in Houston, Texas, back in 2008, and just went and visited several more facilities throughout the country, got some different ideas, and just kind of went from there. Oh, Howie just got loose, so he's falling back.
Now, Howie's a little heavier than Daryl is. Is that any disadvantage to him? I think would have to be a little bit of a disadvantage, isn't it?
Yeah, to an extent. Anybody's first time out, weight does not play a factor at all. Weight only plays a factor once you get down into the 24 and 25 second lap range.
Now, you offer memberships here, right? You can come in, you can kind of join and have opportunities to compete in more features and races, that type of thing?
Yep, yeah, you can come out and just race as a non-member if you want, but we also offer some membership packages that just it knocks a little bit off the pricing for an entire year, and it makes you eligible for racing specials that we offer during the week. And you can't go wrong getting a membership package.
And you got guys that race out here on a regular basis, I guess certainly weekly, right?
Yeah, we offer private leagues. We get a bunch of company leagues. We've had a group of Louisville Metro police officers run a private league. So yeah, we can do a bunch of stuff. If you want to do more than just the open timed racing, then yeah, we can definitely do that for you.
Now, is there any strategy Howie can employ here to try to get around him other than wrecking him?
Yeah, I mean, there's certain tricks. Daryl's running a pretty smooth race, so it's hard to pass. As smooth as he's running, it's going to be hard to get around him. Like if he were to make a mistake and spin himself out, then Howie would be able to get around him pretty easy. But
Justin, in NASCAR racing, I know that racetracks have grooves. Does this track have a groove where you really want to try to make sure you're in?
Yeah, I mean, there's a definite race line, and there's where that race line is, there's much more rubber on the track surface. So yeah, you'll definitely get more grip if you stay in that line versus getting out to the outside. Then it's much more loose there.
Now, going into the turns, do you decelerate going into the turns, or can you keep a little bit of forward momentum going?
No, that's one thing we try to explain to people, that you have to use the brakes on these go-karts. Most go-kart tracks you go to, you can just hold the pedal down and go wide open old track. Here you have to use brakes, and you have to be extremely gentle with the steering wheel, or you can spin yourself out.
A lot of safety precautions. I noticed not only the helmets, but there's even, I'll call it a neck brace, a neck roll, whatever you guys call it, that you strap guys into.
Yeah, everybody's required to wear a helmet. And then, yeah, the neck collars provide just that little bit extra protection in case you get into a wall or there's contact with another cart.
Now, it looks to me like Daryl's kind of dominating this thing, Justin. I mean, he looks very much in command.
Yeah, he's definitely running a smooth line, and Howie's mistake and the spin out in the beginning, they definitely put him into second. And he's definitely closing the gap, though, so there's no gap there. He's just got to get around it.
Now, where's the fastest part of the track out here, Justin?
This front stretch that they're going through right now, that's pretty much full speed all the way around that section, and they're hitting 40 miles per hour as they go into that corner.
How many of these skills you pick up just driving in basic Louisville traffic translates out here? Is it a totally different skill set when you're racing?
Yeah, completely different skill set. You know, you have to know about race line, braking. You know, more or less there's physics of the go-kart that you have to understand. The seat position, pedal position, that all plays a real critical role in getting lap times down to their lowest point.
So tell me about that. You can position yourself in the cart to give you an advantage?
Yeah, the seats and the pedals are all fully adjustable, so we can fit anybody from 55 inches tall all the way up to Will Perdue at 7'2", has raced here several times. You basically want to be sitting in the very middle of the cart because it puts the weight in the middle of the cart. If you put all the weight at the back of the cart, then the cart tends to push because there's no weight on the front tires. But you know, if you move the seat forward a little bit, it balances that weight out and allows the cart to pivot better around the corners.
One of the things that I've always been amazed about race car drivers is the amount of concentration that it requires to do this. Do you notice that even in short races like this, that if your mind wanders a little bit, that's when you tend to make mistakes?
Oh, absolutely, yeah. We run a bunch of, usually once a month we run like an Ironman 100 competition. It's a 100-lap race, which is usually takes between 40 and 45 minutes to run. So you notice lap times start to creep up a little bit towards the end as people get tired, or as they maybe lose a little bit of concentration and make a few more mistakes.
Now you would hope maybe Howie would maybe close this gap a little bit, because after Louisville losing over the weekend, Cardinal Nation could stand a win here, but it doesn't look like he's going to be able to make up much room on Big Blue right there.
Yeah, I don't think so. I think this is going to be the final lap, and I don't think he's going to be able to. He closed up the gap for a while, but I think Darrell figured something out, and he's starting to pull back away.
Now the guys who really know what they're doing here in these type of races, how close are they? I know we talk about drafting in NASCAR racing. Obviously, it's not drafting per se, but the elite drivers on this level, are they bumper to bumper?
Yeah, I mean they're pretty much bumper to bumper. Excuse me, and yeah, they're more or less the regulars here. They can employ some different tricks we call it the push and run, where they push the cart in front of them out of the race line slightly, just in order to get a little more position on them. We don't really allow that for the amateurs, just because it typically ends bad.
Justin, thanks so much for having us on this week. Justin Lewis of Bluegrass Indoor Karting, and another victory for Big Blue as Darrell knocks off Howie. We'll catch you back here next time on the Red and Blue Review.